Day 1, Leviticus 19, verse 35. Do not use dishonest standards when measuring length, weight, or quantity. Use honest scales, honest weights, honest effort, and honest sin. I am the Lord your God who brought you out of Egypt. Again, God, in answering the question, why should you do this? Because I am the Lord. Because that's what I want you to do. Because that's what I instruct. Because that's the right way. That should be your motivation in being somebody who plays fair. Because I think that's really what is wanted here. It's issues of integrity and fairness. And let me ask you a question. Could your children say you are not being fair? Could one child say you favor one against the other? You are being unfair to another. Could your neighbors feel you don't treat them with fairness? Could your Bible study mates, if you're in a Bible study, feel like you are not fair, you talk all the time and don't even want to allow others to talk, and they feel that you are not being fair in the way you treat others? Are you conscious about the presence of others and their rights and privileges? And are you ensuring that they enjoy their rights and privileges? Those are the issues that I think come in when you talk about fairness. Day 2. So here is a command, it's not a request. Do not use dishonest standards. In other words, be fair to your customers. You cannot be somebody who wants to exploit customers and be said to be godly. So you, in a relationship between buyers and sellers, you can set the price because you are the seller, but what you promise to deliver must be what you deliver, both in quantity and quality. If you deliver the quantity without the quality, you're not being fair. When you deliver the quality without quantity or quantity without quality, you are being unfair. And I think it will be important to understand that in your relationship with the customer, customers know who they can trust, who is fair and who is not. And remember, I'm saying we are not suggesting that you become cheap. We are not suggesting that you don't charge a correct price. We are simply saying what you promise to deliver must be what you actually deliver, both in quantity and quality. Keep the standard. Do not use dishonest standards. It must be honest standards. And I think that will be something that you ask yourself. So, you can always tell a Christian businessman, because the customers will always be happy. Not because his quality is the highest, but because the quality he promises is the quality he delivers. The quantity he promises is the quantity he accurately delivers. Day 3. Do not use dishonest standards. What are the instances that you can do wrong to a customer? So maybe you are selling something that's measured in length. Maybe it is something that's measured in weight. Maybe it is something measured in quantity, like potatoes. I'm buying potatoes and 20 shillings for 5 potatoes. Then I tell you to put over 100 shillings. And there are so many, you take away some. So in the end, you did not give me all the numbers I wanted. And you say clearly, I should have watched. But you saw when I was not looking, and you actually told me everything is right, everything is okay. They do that even in the petrol stations, where they do not zeroize the machine, and when they think you are not looking, and then they start putting more fuel. So you start thinking, wow, they have put, I wanted 4,000 shillings, they have put. But they didn't start at 4,000, it was zero, they actually started at 1,000. So they have given you 3,000, but you are paying 4,000. These are the dishonest measures that actually the Bible is talking about. And you need to understand that if you truly are a Christian, you will not be somebody who does anything like that. And that dishonesty must be something you avoid in any way. And it can be a challenge, behaving like that, but then you have no alternative. I am the Lord, the Bible is actually saying. Therefore, verse Leviticus 19 is saying, verse 7 is actually saying, keep all my decrees and all my laws and follow them. I am the Lord. In other words, this is a requirement. Using proper standards, being a fair as a supplier, as a marketer, is actually a godly requirement. Use honest scales. Use honest weights. Use honest effort. Use an honest hin. Whatever your normal measurements standards are, they must be seen to be honest. So it means that the critical word here is honest. Integrity. What you see is what you get. It is that somebody can trust you, because he doesn't even have to look when you are measuring, because they trust you. You are your own guide, your own measure. Your name is important. They say your name should be your bond, so that somebody else says, but he wasn't looking. I dodged him. Can you imagine? He got a telephone call. Then I was able to do this and that. No. Being honest is not supervised. Because if you are doing an honest thing because you are supervised, you have no credit. It is when you voluntarily do the right thing that you get the credit from God, because you now are pleasing to Him. Day 5. So here I've written a book on integrity. The book is called Integrity, the Litmus Test of Good Leadership. It just means that if you really want your business to expand, create an honest atmosphere. Nobody wants to be cheated. Even the crooks themselves don't want to be cheated. So what that means is that when people discover that in so and so's shop things are done the right way, people start flocking to you, and the money which you wanted to get by shortcut will still come to you, but now in a proper route. Call it a long detour, but it still comes. The money still comes. That is when people discover, because there are people who have to discover that you are honest in your dealings. You do not want to deal with anybody else. So why then not try that method of becoming honest, living honestly with the people that you deal with? But can customers also be dishonest? Yes, they can be dishonest. You use honest scales, but when he is paying, he gives you fake dollars. When he is paying, he counts and dodges you, so that in the end he has given you less money. But he knew from the way you did it, you can't discover he gave you less money. So when you are reconciling, you will discover there's some money missing. Whether it is a customer or the seller, God's word is one. Do not be dishonest in your dealings as a business person, either as a customer or as a supplier or marketer. And that will be something that you need to put very well. Now, day 6. So, here we are talking about standards. How many soldiers are employed? How many auditors are employed? How many supervisors are employed simply because you cannot be trusted? Simply because people cannot be trusted. Where there is trust, we end up being lean in our organization, because you don't end up putting one person to supervise another person who supervises another person. No. You want everybody to be their own keeper. In other words, integrity and honesty needs to be their way of life, their belief system. And that means nobody needs to be supervising them. They should even feel very embarrassed if somebody has to actually supervise them. That's a long way to go, but that's what God expects. Where you are honest, not because you are supervised, but because it's in your heart. You have put a standard for yourself, because it's godly standard, and God has come to rule in your heart. You therefore, as of your nature, do things that glorify God by how you treat others with fairness. And I think that will be something you need to ask yourself. Is your motivation to do right based on your belief in God, or you're trying to do good in order to get something out of it? You know, there's somebody who talks about fattening for slaughter. You make somebody believe you. Once they trust you, then you undercut them. Day 7. So, the passage is saying, do not use dishonest standards when measuring length, weight, or quantity. Use honest scales and honest weights, and honest effort, and honest hin. I'm the Lord your God who brought you out of Egypt. You know, one motivation as to why it should be fair is when you remember how you felt when somebody was unfair. These guys are being told, do you remember Egypt? Do you remember how unfair Pharaoh and his people were to you? Then if you actually remember how unfair he was, how come you yourself are not being fair? Your motivation for fairness should be not to repeat what another person did to you. You want to show you are a better person than the guy who was unfair to you. And when that is your motivation, you will not be interested in any way in begrudging others or doing things that will make them unhappy in any way. You want to please God in everything you do. So may the Lord help you to ask yourself the question, am I doing the right thing? Am I walking in the right way? And in this case, it's not just your belief that you're doing the right thing. You have to find out, are you not just doing the right thing, or are you doing things right so that others, in the eyes of others, they are actually right? Because in this case, you are doing the right thing, but it's affecting others. So do it transparently so that people know that they can trust you.